What people, your boy is back in Liverpool. I guess I'm back home. So I call it home. I guess you could say it's home. I've been here for about a year and a bit. I'm still a South Londoner by heart, but I guess I've accustomed to this new city, and this city has served me on my journey. As the people that know already, you know, like I've had to kind of like rebuild and break myself down from the beginning. Being in a new environment has helped me and served me because I didn't have any old triggers from my old environment that were cues to negative behavior, to to bad behaviors, bad habits, to running on a survival frequency of that environment that I was in before. So now being able to go to a new environment, I've been able to do a hard reset, and it's been really helpful. I still got a lot of work to do, and I kind of realized that going back to London this week, and that environment was still able to trigger me and set off bad and old behaviors that I thought that I was relieved of, I guess you could say. But of course, at the same time, I'm forgiven towards myself, and I understand that growth is a journey and it takes time. But it was a bit of like it was humbling at the same time, and it kind of like solidified what I've spoke about in the past, and I wanted to speak a bit more about that, about how your environment can impact you. Because the thing is, a lot of time we don't realize that our environments, you know, the friends we choose contribute to our identity. We've been raised to think a way, to feel a way, to act a way based on the experiences we've had. It could be shared experiences, could be shared mindsets, thoughts, opinions on life. And a lot of times they may not be serving you. And this is why leaving that environment, removing yourself maybe from friends, for example, that don't serve you, and just doing a hard reset and starting again from the beginning. And being in Liverpool, you know, has served that purpose. And I'm grateful that I can kind of recreate myself, you know, because like I can literally be any character I want to be, right? But I feel like you can't heal where you've been broken, innit? And I feel like if you have experienced trauma in certain environments, or you have kind of molded and created an identity in that environment, and now you're aware that it doesn't serve you, then it's best to leave that environment. Do you get what I mean? But obviously being aware is the first thing, innit? I'm sharing this because like sometimes we don't realize our environment or the people we're around is holding us back, innit? And it's a lonely process sometimes, and it's uncomfortable because we're so used to what's familiar, right? And I've realized this firsthand, like leaving London, being in Liverpool, like it's super lonely because I spend 99% of my time by myself, because my older friends in my old environment, they no longer serve me, right? But the thing is, I've not quite done the complete transformation to my desired identity, right? So I'm in this middle place, and you might find yourself in this middle place where you've outgrown your old identity, you're now aware, and you're starting to take those actions to transition to the better version, you know, that you need to be to have the life you want, right? But then you're not quite there yet. Do you get what I'm saying? Where you can sit on the table with the people that are, you know, that are that identity, or have that life of someone who of that identity, right? So you're just kind of like battling, you know, your old version's trying to pull you, you're trying to go forward. And trust me, being in your environment where your old identity strived will obviously hold you back. And this is why me personally leaving that environment really helped me, because I didn't have those triggers or cues to trigger old behaviors. I wasn't around people that had those old mindsets, you know what I'm saying? So like, even though like it might feel lonely, you know, and it will feel challenging, and it will feel, you know, there'll be moments where like you might feel shit about yourself because you want to be this version and you might not be that version yet, and you're just Do you get what I mean? Trying to push through, and there'll be moments where you'll be pulled back. But as long as we're aware of that, and we give ourselves the best chance, and things like, you know, creating a new environment, removing yourself from that environment, and being aware and being okay with being alone, being okay that things take time, because the old version, the old character in that old environment have been built over maybe 10, 20, 30 years, 40 years, whatever time it is, until you've then realized that I need to now kill this old identity and recreate a new version of me, right? So as much time as it took to recreate that character, you can't be naive and think you're gonna recreate this new identity overnight, right? So, you know what I mean? You always got to do that work, and I've realized that even like being in London this time, is that I still got a lot of work to do. I'm happy that I am in a new environment like Liverpool that allows me to start again and recreate myself without those barriers and without those triggers in my way. Because again, like they say in it, like we act, I think 96% subconsciously, so 96% of our actions, behaviors, feelings are on autopilot, and maybe 3%, 4% is actually conscious. So like we're just on autopilot. It's mad when you actually deep it. Like, that's why you can react without even realizing it's so quick. It's maybe only after you're like, hold on, like, why did I behave like that? Or, do you know what I mean? You don't even notice it. That's why, you know, like, you have to take time to kind of like break yourself down and really kind of understand how your brain works, or how emotions in the past impacts how you behave now, so that you can revisit those situations, as hard as it can be, and understand that this isn't something that you have to carry on. This is just like a default behavior you've been running on for so long. But then just being aware and breaking that down, and basically deciding to take a different action, right, in a different direction. I just wanted to share that because maybe your environment is holding you back and it's not serving you, and you may have to remove yourself from that environment, remove yourself maybe for your friends that are not serving you, and just take that time to work on yourself. As lonely as it may be, it'll be worth it in the long run, because you're going to be able to recreate yourself and be the person you need to have the life you want, right? So yeah, just know there's a process. It takes time. Maybe I'm speaking to myself, but I'm hoping I'm speaking to someone else at the same time, that like, as long as we're self-aware and we keep working towards being that better version of ourselves, and be forgiven at the same time again, you know, and just realize, okay, like, that triggered me, or this is, you know, my old version. Do you know what I mean? I'm aware of that now. I'm gonna keep pushing and make sure that doesn't happen again, and keep creating that environment that will serve you, because eventually your environment will have so much cues that will be screaming at you that you are this person. You know what I'm saying? That eventually that you're going to sink into that new identity, where it's gonna be the what's the word? The dominant force, right? And you essentially are gonna be that person, and that old version ain't gonna get you. Do you get me? So anyways, people, peace and love. I just want to jump on that. End the week like that is a bit different, but yeah, man, back to it, baby. I hope you lot have had a good week. Peace and love. I hope you have a good Sunday, and I will catch you lot in the next one.